Johannesburg. We are in winter here, but it's a bit warm today. I can see I'm getting the sunshine coming through from my window. In the marketplace, I am a leadership and productivity coach. And in the personal space, I'm a wife and a mother. I call myself the expatriate wife after I wrote about my story of being an expatriate wife for the last 13 years in November this year. Yes. I also trained as a lawyer and an advocate, practiced in Uganda for some time before I jumped ship and started my role as an expatriate wife. I love to write, I love to read and write, and I write on my blog. My blog is called The Fulfilled Life. I also like speaking, and Betty graciously gave me the role to be the moderator for these talks. So I'll be your moderator today. I'll start by taking us through the program that we are going to go through today to be able to make the most of our 2 hours together. So that's the program. Basically, I've given the welcome remarks. I'll come back and then give the opening prayer before I invite Betty to put on the video. We'll have a video from the Betty Ogiel Foundation. What the video is about is it basically summarizes Betty's journey leading up to founding the foundation. They say the proof is in the pudding, right? So today we want to hear from somebody who has been part of these talks. Today we are doing talk number 14. Since they started, what has been his experience? How has he been able to grow so that we can be able to encourage those who are mostly joining us for the first time today. After that, I'll then invite our host, who is Betty Ogiel Rubanga, to speak to us on the topic for today. Betty will then invite our guest speaker, who, if you still do not know who he is, it's the one and only Coach Phil. And when I think about Coach Phil, I keep telling people, is the word that comes to my mind is energy. If you're seated down and feeling lifeless and you do not know how to move on, what Coach Phil does is he gets you up and moving. So I hope you all have a paper and pen, ready not just to learn, but to also engage, ask questions, and let us all learn together. We'll then have a health break, and the sales warrior himself, Daniel Chaudhry, will come in and take us through a few exercises, after which he will have the floor to take us through the Q&A session. We'll finish with the wrap-up, which will be given by our host, Betty. And maybe I'll come back just to say thank you for coming and to just wish you a nice evening and the rest of the weekend. So without wasting much time, let us begin the session with a word of prayer. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the gift of today. Thank you, Lord, for the gift of a new month. Thank you, Lord, for the gift of a new day. Thank you, Lord, for the gift of life. Thank you for having been with us last month and for bringing us again this month for the Against All Odds talk. And Father, even as we start this 14th edition, we invite the Holy Spirit to come and be in our midst. Holy Spirit, may there be more of you and less of us. I pray in a special way for our presenters that you will give them wisdom like you gave Solomon, that they'll be able to speak to us a word in season that will go away changed from when we came. I pray, Father, for each and everybody who is going to attend today. I pray that you will meet them at their different points of need and enable them to be able to enjoy the session and to go away and to continue enjoying the abundant life that you died for us to have. We thank you, Father, for we've prayed all this in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. So over to you, Coach Betty. Please play for us that video. And then after the video, you have the floor to come and give your presentation.
In 1980, Betty Ogiel started on a life of struggle when, at the tender age of 3 years, her father, died suddenly, it was decided that Ogel would go on to stay with her uncle Nicholas. Ogel, being his only beneficiary at the time, was privileged to get a bursary from the Christian Children's Fund. From being a full-time homemaker to playing cat and mouse with death-biting Karamojong warriors, surviving a scourge of jiggers, scabies, physical abuse, and even teaching herself English and Swahili, Ogel remained at the top of her class performance and even starred as an athlete at district level.
I got to run my first race and won. A discovery moment for me. It was exciting. It was uplifting.
The struggle continued soon after when it came time for Ogel to go to the next level of education.
After first term had ended, senior one, of course, like any other kid, I was excited to go back home. However, I did not have transport. I decided to go on the road waiting for any car. I remember when I sighted that army truck coming, it was like I had seen my savior. I was happy to reach home, but alas, my happiness vanished. There was no sign of my uncle, his wife, and their kids. I was all alone. I had no relative. The idea of starting to brew came to mind. So I had to devise a way of keeping myself busy. Most importantly, I wanted to be able to go back to school. I had to look for something my hands would do. Growing up in a hard life taught me that work is never a punishment.
A near-death experience at school brought the help that Ogel badly needed. Ogel got bitten by a poisonous snake. This caught Sister Susan Anyango's attention and got Ogel a bursary from the Society of the Sacred Heart Sisters. Ogel remained a top performer in academics and equally on the sports field. Now, education at the university stood as yet another mountain for her to climb.
After missing government sponsorship, I went to Sister Susan Anyango, my angel, who showed up at every stage. Sister mentioned one thing that I still remember up to today. Betty, she said, you deserve to go to the university. We went ahead and I joined. After first semester, I got stuck. I decided I would escalate this situation up to the highest office. The next day, I was in professor's office. Then I started narrating my story to him without many questions. Professor Opio Epelo said, it is okay, I will pay your tuition until you complete university. That was the happiest day in my life. But there was still another problem, which was accommodation. I ended up at the sports ground. I slept in the benches of the changing rooms up to the time I completed my university.
Finally, against all odds, Ogel graduated from Makerere University with an upper second-class honors degree.
I keep thinking about what I went through against all odds. And I keep thinking that there is a girl who is just like me, and that created a discomfort in my life. I established the Betty Ogiel Foundation because I believe in giving hope to others. Just know that we are all here for others. So I believe in supporting others.
My late father did not take our family like important, because for us, we had that, I don't know, either I believe in Karamoja there, that you educate a girl child, the girl child will become a prostitute. So they don't value education so much on the side of girls. If I finish and get that degree, in our village, I will be the first person with that degree.
John Mary, are you ready to give us your experience of the Against All Odds talks?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
My name is John Mary Nwagaba. I am a university student at Makerere in Uganda. I happen to have attended my first Against All Odds talks sometime in 2019. After attending my first talk, I was very challenged to do something about my circumstances. I was very challenged that I could do better with my goals. So because of that, I decided to take action as an individual. So I approached Coach Betty and I asked her to be my mentor. Because of that good relationship with Betty, I was able to sign up to one of the mastermind classes that Betty runs. And because of those mastermind classes and continuous mentorship from Betty, my life has never been the same. I have met very many people on the mastermind classes, both young and old. A lot of value has been added to my life. And the one thing from Betty that I learned is that I never have to relax when it comes to my personal growth. I need to continuously be intentional about my personal growth. I thank you all for listening to me.
Hello, welcome to all of you. I am so delighted to have you here in your respective capacities. From where you are joining us, you are welcome. This is Uganda. This is a stage in Uganda. I know there are friends from all over the world. We have people from US. We have people from the neighboring Kenya. We have people from Ghana. We have people from Nigeria. Sorry if I forget to mention your country, you will forgive me. It is my honor to host you here. My name is Betty Ogiel Rubanga, also known as Against All Odds. If you are meeting me for the first time, kindly note that I am an inspirational speaker who speaks majestically. Why? Because of circumstances beyond my control, which happened to me 13 years ago. But now, against all odds, I am here. I am happy and grateful to be alive. This is something I don't take for granted. I am a human resource manager and a consultant in the marketplace. I am also a John C. Maxwell coach, trainer, and speaker. I am a leadership and resilience coach. Everything I do, I live against all odds life. So I am passionate about encouraging people not to give up, no matter what comes their way. Even COVID-19 will go and we will survive. We are happy that we are still alive despite the COVID-19 pandemic. I am an author of a book called Against All Odds. It is in Amazon. You can search for it and order. I have some available to me, within me, if you want an autographed copy. I am the founder of Against All the Betty Ogiel Foundation, which supports girls from humble backgrounds, like I was before today. I am also a mother and a wife. I am a mother of 3 handsome boys. Like I normally say, if you have 3 beautiful girls, please contact me after the talk. I want to begin paying dowry in installments. I am, of course, a wife to a great and unsung hero, which is who is none other than Rubanga Julius, my husband. He is ever in the background, making things happen. I am a believer that your past does not define your future. And that is what I stand for in everything I do. I make sure I don't let my past determine how I live my future. So why against all odds talks? What is against all odds talks? Against all odds talks exist to inspire hope and build resilience with a goal and a mission of transforming life. At Against All Odds, we equip you, we add value to our audience by sharing knowledge and life experiences, as you will hear today from our guest speaker, who is none other than my own coach and mentor, the man who introduced me to the world of personal growth and development. I'm proud to host him this evening. We also empower you to rise above your obstacles and see possibilities in your problems. Like John Mary shared, yes, we don't leave you the same. When you are 10 against all odds, we plant a seed in you, a seed that will germinate either immediately or as time goes on. And the last thing we do, we engage. That is why we don't just leave you to go and that is all. Yes, we challenge you, we follow up with you, we challenge you to be better and do better. And because of that, we have established the Momentum Mastermind, which is a 6-month program, which Rosette, our moderator, will talk about as we go on. What is our topic today? Reinventing yourself for high performance. And I will just start by sharing my story of how I reinvented myself. Just like most of you, I am a degree holder, and just like some of you know, my journey of education was not easy. I am one of the people who was born not with a silver spoon in my mouth, but I was born with a shovel. I was born with a hoe in my mouth. So my life was hard growing up as a total orphan, a destitute orphan. And my dream was then to attain an education against all odds. When you read the book Against All Odds, you will be able to know all that I went through to attain my dream of education. So when I attained a degree, I knew that I had reached my peak. I had achieved something very big in my life. And yes, truth be told, it was big in my own definition. Why? Because I was the first to get a degree in my family, in my clan. So to me and my clan mates, it was a great achievement. So I think that achievement got onto my head, my brain, my mind, that I had made it in life. I had achieved a degree. I even got a job in one of the biggest audit firms in the world, after which I got a job in the biggest oil and gas company in Africa. So I had arrived, and the only thing I thought about doing was to get a master's, to add on my academics, because I had a degree. So the transition from this girl you see here, friends, this was me at university, and not any university, Makerere University of Uganda. This was how I looked in my second year of campus. So for me, from here, moving from here to here, I had arrived. I was now, I think you see, you can see the attire. I was putting on a suit and a jacket. I had arrived by all my village standards. And unfortunately, just when I had started celebrating my arrival in life, I got a motor car accident, which rendered me paralyzed with a brain injury. I got a broken neck. I lost my ability to speak completely. And that sent me to level 0, actually negative, if there's a number called -0, but ground 0. I almost gave up. 8 years of my life were full of excuses, accident excuses. 8 years of my life were full of self-pity. 8 years of my life were full of limiting beliefs, and the thought of who cast me came back. For those of you who have read Against All Odds, you know there is a time in my life people called me cast girl. Who cast me? I worked very hard. One virtue that I maintained, and I still maintained to date, is hard work. I worked hard, and I was expecting to grow automatically because I had a degree, I had a postgraduate diploma, I was working for an oil company, the #1. So I was expecting to grow automatically. I was always blaming and citing my past. But as my belief right now goes, your past does not define your future. I met a coach who introduced me to personal growth and development. The coach told me, Betty, I don't care where you are from, what happened to you in the past. What I care about right now is what I see in you. You have greatness. You are denying the world to see. You have a story to share with the world. But until you get out of this pity mode, you will not realize your potential. So that is when Coach Phil Kambe, who is going to speak to us shortly, came into my life and introduced me to growth journey. Then I started enrolling for courses. I enrolled. I did a public speaking course. Can you imagine a person who was stammering, a person who had lost their speech completely, now having the guys and believe that they can be a world speaker. That is what my coach made me believe. And I am still on that journey. And I believe one day I will achieve that. It is a process of sacrifice, but with intentionality, it will be achieved. So, friends, I got onto personal growth and development, but I won awards both in the company, and I once won an award of being the best human resource manager in terms of employee engagement. I saw my my colleague here, Coach Ajal. Yes, he knows about that award. But there was one thing still missing. I was the best human resource manager. I was the best employee, but I was also broke employee. I call it being best but broke employee, until I reinvented myself and went back to the drawing board and pivoted. That is when I became a John Maxwell coach. I invested in myself, insanely investing in myself. I started Against All Odds talks. I am now living my life on my own terms, and adding value to others is what I live for. I am in the process of beginning developing a digital product. I am living a fulfilled life. I am a long life learner. So what is the moral of this story is keep moving against all odds. Keep on moving no matter what happens. As my mentor, John Maxwell, says, good management of bad experiences leads to great growth. And that is why Rosette and I started the Momentum Mastermind which is a group coaching on a personal growth and development, and allow me invite Rosette to take us through the group coaching on a personal growth and development. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you. Rosette, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Coach Betty. Thank you for taking us through that journey. As I was looking at the photos, I was just amazed. There is clearly a before and after, without a doubt. You can clearly see the difference. And thank you for reminding us that personal growth does not just happen. You have to be intentional with it. Unlike normal growth, because whether you like it, whether you celebrate your birthday or not, every year you move from one number to the other number. But when it comes to personal development, you have to be intentional about it. And that is why we started the Momentum Mastermind. We are working with people who are intentional about their growth, who are clear. They say, this is where I am, and this is where I want to get to. Like Betty said, it's a group coaching and it's on personal development. So it's all about people who are clear about the plans they have, the dreams they have, the goals that they have set. We help them to put those dreams and goals into action. We all know that as you age, like myself, I'll turn 44 this month. The more I grow, the more I need the gym more. The same way that I go to the gym for my physical body is the same way that I need a gym for my mind. And that is what the Momentum Mastermind does for you. It helps you to put your mind to work. We have different topics every month. It encourages steady growth of members. It also guarantees accountability because you are with like-minded people. People who are ready to pull you from your comfort zone into your discomfort zone, because we know that is where change happens. It's a community where people grow. People are never static. Above all, it gives you access to certified coaches from the John Maxwell team. Not just myself and Betty. Like I told you, I'm a leadership and productivity coach. Not just myself and Betty, but we are able to invite our other friends as well to come and enrich the Momentum Mastermind. Like I said, we are dividing it into seasons of 6 months each. We started season 1 in July. So season 1 will run from July to December, 6 months. And every season we tackle different topics. This season we are starting from the basics. Betty, can I have the next slide? This season, we are starting from the basics. But one thing that you can be guaranteed of is, let's go back to the other one, please. The one before. Yes, I talked about the 6 months sessions making up a season. Then every month in those 6 months, we have a Zoom session. And the Zoom session, we bring in a guest speaker or the lead facilitators, myself and Betty, to be able to speak about the topic for the month. We also have a closed WhatsApp group where we engage weekly on the topics that we are covering for that month. We have a live session every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. Before that, we open the session up and members are able to report on the homework that we would have given them for the week before, give their reports, ask questions, and then we engage for that one hour. The cost, you will ask me, what is the cost of all this good thing you're talking about? We wanted to make it as affordable as possible, because if you have gone through personal growth and you have seen how it has worked for you, if you're a person of good standing, you wish the same for another person. So for just $15 a month, which we collect in one installment of $90, you're able to have access to this community of people. Let me just show you a snapshot of the topics that we have for season 1. Those are the topics that we have. Goal setting and the 12-week year system. It's not about setting goals. How do you go ahead and achieve these goals? Productivity, mindset, relationships. Relationships are very important. How you relate with other people can make or break you. Stress and anxiety. We all go through periods of stress and anxiety, but how can we manage them? Because this is something that we have to live with. Then at the end of this year, we'll conduct a live audit and also have a vision board session as we plan for 2021. We all know that if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. So before the year starts, it is always better that you plan for the new year. So there are our contacts. You have Coach Betty, a leadership and resilience coach, myself, leadership and productivity. Please take a screenshot of this slide, give it a thought, and when you're ready, we are waiting for you. Give us a call, send us an email, and we'll be ready to welcome you into the Momentum Mastermind. Thank you, Betty. I now pass it over to you to introduce our guest speaker, who is also your very good friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosette. I now take this opportunity to welcome my coach, my friend, my mentor, my mentor, Coach Phil Kambe, to address us. There's something he always tells me not to forget to say while introducing him, that he was born and bred from Ginger City. So help me welcome Coach Kambe Philip, a business and high performance expert, to address us. Coach, you are welcome.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're coming up from. Hi, everybody. My name is Coach Phil. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you. Total honor. And yes, Betty and Rosette and Daniel and everybody else, thank you so much for putting this together. I am excited. I am ready to go. I don't know about you. First questions first, Betty. Is everybody muted? Because I'd like to say hello to everybody, find out how they're doing, find out how their Saturday is. So if you could unmute them and get my slides ready, I would really appreciate that. So unmute everybody. Let's hear what everybody's saying. And most importantly, do you have my slides?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Just get everybody on. I just want to see who's there, how everybody's doing. Most importantly, just in one word, how are you today? Okay. I can see.
They can all unmute.
Okay, hello. I can see Udem.
The sales warrior is here.
Hi, hi. Wonderful. Hi. How are you doing? How are you doing?
Coach Phil. The energy is crazy.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Eric Solana. Hi, Coach Phil. This is Gladys.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
The sales warrior is here.
Hello.
Good to see you, brother.
Okay. Gladys White, how you doing? Good to see you.
Gladys is at Lekumburo on the mountains. I'm on a hill of Lekumburo National. Sorry, there's a lot of wind behind.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, Betty, let's do this. Okay, this is the last part of the picture that you're going to see of me. The rest of it is going to be on the slides, all right? Betty, like I said to you, this face is expensive. It takes time to make it look this good. So if you want to engage and indulge with it, you got to pay the price. Okay, Betty, thank you so much for the introduction. I am going to rock and roll straight away. And I'm going to start by saying, yes, it is nice to be here. I am hoping that by the time I'm done, half of you don't like me very much. And I say that with all total openness and sincerity, because if I finish this session and you all like me, then I have not done my job. One of the greatest challenges we have as a species is our comfort zone. And until somebody touches the wound where it hurts the most and pushes you out of it, you never, ever, ever move. So when they talk about reinventing for reinventing yourself for high performance, there's only one thing that comes into my mind, and that is the discipline to do whatever it takes. Let me say that again, the discipline to do whatever it takes. But most importantly, that discipline comes with something that, again, many people are not willing to do. Many people are not willing to go through, and that is the pain that it takes to be disciplined. The pain that it takes to be disciplined. I am going to do whatever it takes to see that I can share with you what I have come up with over the last 18 years of being at the top end of high performance for individuals and CEOs and all those people. But most importantly, I want us to talk about life today. I want us to talk about you and your life. And during that, if I am going to be your coach with your permission, I'm also going to be allowed to challenge you, because coaching is not just about telling you what it is. No, it's also to challenge you, to tell you what it is that you need to do. Most importantly, to get you to say, hey, maybe it is high time I had a conversation with the man in the mirror and got rid of my excuses and did what I had to do. Okay, so Betty, next slide. When we talk about reinventing self for high performance, I'm going to share with you the key components that you have to understand, embody, and implement in order to become who you really want to become. Now, please note that the last 5 years I've been obsessed with finding out why do most people not get what they want in life, even if they seem to be doing everything that they ought to be doing. And that obsession has taken me on a journey of some deeply engaging and deeply awareness conversations with some people who are at the top of their games. And one of the things I discovered lately is that there's so many people who are deluded with this statement of who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And I'm here to say to you what I said to Betty those many years ago, but now I'm even much more congruent, and I am on a mission to get everybody that I ever meet to stop asking that question, because it's irrelevant. Who you are has nothing to do with where you're going. Who you are has nothing to do with your future. If you want to become a high performer, you must let go of some of your baggage. Let me say that again. If you want to become a high performer, the kind of person who does whatever it takes to get to where you need to go, you must let go of your baggage. And one of those is your, what is the word? Is you're so caught up in the past, you're so caught up on the question of who you are, and you're missing the point. The point is not who you are, the point is who are you becoming. Now, in the pursuit of high performance, I am going to be teaching, and I'm going to be telling you some metaphors and probably some stories, depending on how much time I have. By the way, I must warn you, I am paid to speak. So I could speak until tomorrow, even if Betty stopped paying me. Is she paying? Well, yeah, even if she stopped paying me. Betty, stop laughing, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a story. About 4 years ago, I went to do a session with a good friend of mine in South Africa called Kobus. And when we were down there, one of my roles was to do one-on-one coaching with the people who are learning to do firework. And one afternoon, we had a bust out. We had a lady, she was doing a training, And then somewhere in the afternoon, she just bust out and just threw the biggest tantrum in the world, because Kobus said something in the lines of, if you guys want to go to the next level, you're going to have to pay or something like that. So she lost it. She stood up and said, I'm sick and tired of you motivational speakers and people like you, because all you do is use us as your piggy banks. And she went on for about 20 minutes. Now, there was an urge from all the other coaches to go in and stop her. And I said to them, stop. Don't even touch her. Let her pour her heart out. But most importantly, let her reveal who she really is. Now, you might be wondering, where is this story going? Stay with me for a second. after she had been done with a big tantrum, by the way, she was also very, I don't know, and anyway, it doesn't matter whether you're from South Africa or not. She was a very big time racist, okay? Unfortunately for her, she had not met a person like me. So eventually all these guys are like, oh my God, you know how white people can be, oh my God, she's so upset, oh my God, oh my God. So I go to her and I say, hey, listen, I totally appreciate where you are, but can we go outside and have a chat? So we go outside and then she tells me, look, I have spent over $22,000 on courses, on all this stuff, and it doesn't work. And I said, you're right. Now she was surprised because I said, you're right, because I think she assumed that it's probably not going to be, it's going to be another, so I said, yeah, you're very right. And then I said to her, have you noticed that there are other people who have bought these courses and things have happened for them? He said, well, I don't care, but for me, they don't work. And I said, have you also noticed that 90% of the people fail, which is where you are, and a certain 10% make it happen? And you're not in the 10%. And then she was like, what do you mean? It is you guys, you come up with courses that don't work. I said, yeah, you're right, they don't work. Because Edison said, you know what? Whether you think it works or you don't think it works, you are right. Now, why do I start there? You have 59 people in here, which is amazing. Out of those 50, 10 people are going to take some notes and change their lives. The other 50 are listening passively. The other 50 are going to blame the course and coach and Jennifer and everybody else and Betty and what. Others are here for entertainment. So make sure you give them some entertainment. Others are here because they're curious. The majority are here because they are passengers. My question to you today, Elizabeth, what are you here for? Are you passively learning? Are you, by the way, how many of you are here, but you're also looking at your phones and then you're cooking and then you're in the kitchen and then the kid is pulling your leg and then you're doing something on the other computer? I can guarantee that the results you're going to get are going to be exactly the way you are showing up. The first point of high performance is show up 110%. Yes, I went through a story, but that is how I teach. This lady was throwing a tantrum and blaming everybody else, but the first thing you got to do when it comes to high performance is take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, who is in charge of my results in life? And whoever you see in the mirror is the answer. So ask yourself, who is in charge of my life right now? And then if you don't have the answer, just go to the mirror, okay? And then number two, let us go and say, okay, these are the things that you have to understand. First, you got to understand yourself. Okay, second, you must stop asking who are you, because it doesn't matter who you are. What matters is who you are becoming. Because for a high performance person, you must realize that the only way to go to the next level is to reinvent yourself for the next level. Let me also say that the reason you're dreaming and you have all these big dreams, but you're not there yet is because you haven't earned the right to be there yet. I'm going to get there shortly. Betty, my next slide, please. So, it doesn't matter what is true. Only what you believe is true, because with work, that will become true. Let me say that again. It doesn't matter what is true. Only what you believe is true, because with work, that will become true. The last 5 years of my deep work, where I've gone away from doing a lot of the seminars and stuff like that, is because I want to go deeper into the psychology of why certain people get results and why certain people don't. And one of the most important things I've learned is that, number one, your past doesn't matter, but most importantly, things seem impossible in the beginning. But with work, belief, and time, everything is possible. Let me say that again. Things seem impossible in the morning, but with work, belief, and time, everything is possible. Betty. So when we talk about high performance, ladies and gentlemen, it is not, everybody has been going on about high performance. Everybody says high performance, but, we got to learn the deeper stuff. Some people are always looking at the positive stuff, okay, where the light is. But I'd like you to take a minute and look in the darkness once in a while, because sometimes our answers are in the darkness. Sometimes we have to go to the darkness to be able to realize that, hey, the light is there, but we got to deal with the darkness sometimes. I want to share with you one of the reasons that you're not achieving your goals right now. I want to bring into your life, into your awareness, something called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. We say that again. The state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. Have you felt sometimes like you do some things and you make one step ahead and then 3 back? Do you sometimes feel like there's some self-sabotage? You do something and then you self-sabotage yourself. You get on a diet and then after 4 weeks, you've done well, you've lost a couple pounds, and then the next 2 weeks you go and binge and eat junk and then you take 3 steps back. Do you sometimes feel like you save a little bit of money and then somewhere when the money is getting to that level where it is becoming comfortable, boom, something happens and you spend all of it? That is cognitive dissonance, because one of my greatest teachers on the planet, T. Harv Eker, says, your thoughts and beliefs, your thoughts become your beliefs become your actions become your results. The reason, ladies and gentlemen, that we as a species, especially people, by the way, I'll tell you, most of you are personal development junkies on here. Okay, you are reading everything in the world. You have so many freaking books, but there's more books than there is action. Because you're looking for the secret, you're looking for that one thing. No, there's no one thing. There's only one thing, taking action on whatever you believe in. The reason you don't have your dreams and stuff is because the beliefs and thoughts that you have are inconsistent with what you want. Let me explain. Betty, next slide. Let me explain. You have a disconnect inside of you. You haven't learned the right. Now, the reason I start here is that there's no point of me giving you the points of becoming a high-performance person if we don't discuss what is the foundation. And that is where we usually go wrong as mentors, speakers, trainers. We don't look at the mindset, the psychology of doing stuff. We give people tools and then they go wrong. You haven't earned the right because this is what happens. You get up every morning and you say to yourself, hi, you know what? I want to start a consulting business. I want to look good. I want to build my business. I want to build my business to $10,000 a month. I want to lose weight. I want to have a great relationship. I want to bring up great kids. I want to take my family to great places. I want to do this. I want to get fit. I want to do all this stuff. But then this is what happens. This is what happens. You say, I'm going to do this stuff. But then on the other side, that is what this picture shows. You sleep too much. You drink too much. You spend more time watching silly things and series and doing things that have nothing to do with your dreams. You say you want to help 10,000 people, but you spend more time watching Telemundo. You say you want to lose weight, but when nobody's watching, you're eating junk and ice cream and all this stuff. Why? Because there's a disconnect between what you want and what you do. You must earn the right, ladies and gentlemen, by making sure that your dreams and character are in alignment. That means that you take charge of your life. When you say, I am going to do this, you do it. And that means that you are in charge of your character. That is the first part of high performance. It is not who you are, it is who you're becoming. It has nothing to do with where you come from. It has everything to do with where you're going. But first, you must get the cognitive dissonance out by saying, you know what? I am in charge. When your character says to you, hey, it is too early, don't get out of bed. You turn around and say, who is in charge? You get up, and the next day you get up even earlier. When your character says, oh no, don't work out too hard today. You know what? Just do 1 hour. You turn around and say, no, I'm actually going to do 3 hours. Why? That is how you earn the right. The reason you don't have your dreams yet is because there's cognitive dissonance. You are not in alignment with your dreams. You say you want to, but you do the opposite. Now, if you're uncomfortable and you don't like what I'm saying right now, thank you, because that is what I love. Because then you're going to know, you're going to take some real personal reflection and say, whoa, what's going on here? Now, Betty, let's go to the next one. So now with that out of the way, let us look at reinventing yourself for high performance and earning the right to have your dreams. Remember, you have to earn the right. The reason you don't have those dreams yet, you haven't earned the right. You haven't done the work. You haven't gotten to that level where you actually have earned the right to earn $10,000. Why? You are not in congruence psychologically. Some of the things that are going to help you to get that psychological side going and earning your dreams are: number one, you must have a clear decision. Number two, you must be very clear on what it is you want and why you want it. Then you must be willing to pay the price. This is where us as a species have a problem. And then you must pay the price. Most importantly, you must love the process. You must get feedback. You must reiterate and repeat. Last time I was speaking to the mastermind group and I introduced a little bit of this. And today I'll just give you, as much as I can. It might not be as deep, but these are the things that high performers do. These are the things that will get you to begin to align your dreams in line with who you want, in line with what you need to do. I had a coaching session with a young man yesterday, and the young man came to me. This is a very, very, very bright young man. He's at the top of his game when it comes to education. He has got all kinds of degrees, all kinds of masters and all these things. And he tells me, you know what, coach, I've decided I'm going to open up my own consultancy. And I told him, yeah, you came to me with your mom about 4 years ago, and you wanted to do this, and we are still here. You haven't done it. I said, why haven't you done it? He said, well, it hasn't been urgent. I said, what makes it different now? He said, oh, mama stopped giving me money. I said, okay, thank God, because I told you 4 years ago. But that's besides the point. So I tell him that you're going to have to, number one, sacrifice. You're going to have to do something different. So I told him, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go home and write down for me the vision of the consultancy you want. Because he went and studied on Wall Street, by the way, and he wants to be an investment banker, something like that. Yes. I said to him, you're going to go and do some research for me on who the best investment bankers are on the planet, which companies are looking to invest in Africa, what your proposition is going to be for them, and how you're going to create a team of people who can be looked up to. I told him, you go and do that, and I want it in my email this morning by 7. He said, no problem. He goes home. I don't hear from him. I didn't check my email at 7. No. Okay. Why? I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I checked my email at midday. There was nothing. And then he calls me at 2 o'clock and says, oh, shoot, coach, I'm sorry, I forgot. I said, why? He said, when I left you yesterday, my friend had a birthday in Munyonyo. I said, wonderful. I said, what happened? He said, well, we went to Munyonyo and I spent the night there. So I just told him, do not ever call me again unless you are willing to pay the price for your dreams. And I put the phone down. He called me back. I put it down again. He has tried to call me back 15 times. I refused to answer the phone. His mom has called me. I told her, until you're willing to learn to pay the price, do not call me. If you're not willing to understand, to pay the price as a human being, do not even bother. Now, yes, I know some of you, this is a little bit uncomfortable, but it's the truth. So number one for high performance, you must create routines in your life. You must create situations where having routines in your life is essential to your growth. Without morning, evening routines, without self-education, without personal development, we would become static. Accept that learning more about yourself and attaining new knowledge is a never-ending journey. The reason you're attracted to Betty is because she's got an amazing story and she can help you to go to the next level. But don't just listen to her. Do what she does. Yes, she's an amazing mom. Yes, she's got a great family, but she has routines and she knows it. And every time that you create routines in your life, it increases your ability to move closer to your goals. I will share with you a few of my routines that I do, but more importantly, I'm going to share with you the 3 routines that high performers use both the morning and evening. And if you can put them in your life and they help you, great. Number 1, you wake up earlier than everybody else. Mine has been at 4:30 a.m. for the last, I don't know how many years, but that is not easy for everybody. There are some people who are morning people, there are some people who are evening people. If you're not an early person, there are some people, for example, I had a mentor very rich guy, but he always woke up at 10 o'clock, at 10 a.m., but he always went to bed at midnight. So, you know, you have to know who you are, where you are. When you wake up, before you touch your phone, and this is your biggest challenge, most of you wake up and the first thing you do is go to your phone. And when you go to your phone, what are you looking at? WhatsApp. And what is that doing? The first thing you're doing in the morning is you're going into some other people's stuff, some other people's knowledge, some like you know, there's, you know, it is, what's the word? It's a dopamine injection for you. You are so addicted to it that you're not in church. You know, last time I shared with the guys in the mastermind, I said, put your phone in the living room and then put the alarm to be so loud. Two things. Number one, you will get up much earlier because when you walk to the living room, it's harder for you to come back and go back to bed. Number two, you can't press snooze in the bed in the evening, in the sitting room, and then go back to the bedroom. If you do that, then I can guarantee your results. You're going to fail. That's just a fact. Now, when you wake up in the morning, first things first, connect with your creator and do three things. Number one, pray and be grateful. What are the top three things you're grateful for in the world? This is what happens. Gratefulness is one of the most amazing, powerful forces of bringing up a positive karma in your life. Three things that I'm grateful for today. That means you're starting off the day 10 times better than 90% of the people in the world. What am I grateful for today? Write them down. After you do your prayer, your gratefulness prayer, and you prepare yourself, then you say, okay, next, what am I going to do? I'm going to meditate. Now, when I talk about meditation, people are like, oh my God, what is meditation? Isn't it? Somebody told me, isn't meditation satanic? I said, no, not meditating satanic. I said, you go and meditate on your Bible. Is that satanic? Ah, so that is what you mean. Yes, damn straight, that's what I mean. Meditate on the word of God. Meditate, I don't know, whatever. Go to the internet, find, go to the Google player, what is that, app store, and type in meditation apps and get an app where you meditate for 10 minutes. It will ground you. After meditation, take your journal out and write out what you expect to win that day. Please notice, I didn't say what you expect to do. I said what you expect to win that day. Those are just three. There's a lot more that I share in other deeper places, but those three morning routines will set you up to win. By the way, that is before you even say hello to the other half of you. Okay? Now some of you are saying, Coach, you have no idea. My husband, I can't tell him these things. Well, you tell your husband that Coach Phil said, what I do in the morning is the journey to our $1 million account. And if he doesn't agree, then you know what to do. Give him some results. Share with him why you're doing it. Give him the ability to also come with you, because if both of you get up, just imagine a couple that gets up and prays together and meditates together and journals together. And by the time you get out of your bedroom, you are on a different level. You're going to be looking good. You're going to have a great positive energy. Your children are going to feel it. They're going to see it. And I guarantee you, you're going to be winning. That is what high performers do. Number two, the evening routines is number one. In terms of evenings, please, whatever you do, do not have deep conversations before you go to bed. Please, please, please. Don't go back home and start talking about the CPU could not ping to the IP. And then you say, do not say that stuff to your wife or husband. Dude, you won't be able to sleep. One of the most important things for high performers is rest. Rest, rest, rest. Okay, that's number one. Number two, please, whatever you do in the evenings, do your best to have your meal at least 3-4 hours before you go to bed. And finally, the bedroom, ladies and gentlemen, for just two things, for sleeping and having sex. That is it. Don't take your phone. Your phone has been designed for you to be, you've been programmed. You're addicted to the phone. Now, those of you who are not, please forgive me, but I know 90% of the people on the call know what I'm talking about. I want you to try it for a week. Leave your phone out of the bedroom for a week and see how great rest you're going to have. I tell guys, I've not had a television in my house for over 20 years. Why? I spend the evenings having conversation with my loved ones. I spend the evenings talking to my boys about how their day was. When we go to bed, our minds are rested. Most importantly, we get rest. So when we wake up, we have a full battery to get out and conquer our dreams. Three things. One, don't have deep conversations. Two, don't take your phone to the bed. 3, eat a little bit earlier. And eat nice, and we'll talk about eating later on. And this is the biggest challenge with me and my brothers in this part of the world. We have some amazing food, chapati and fresh fish. My God, that food is good. But it's also your biggest nightmare and problem. Let's go. Number 2, you must have an achievement that you want so bad. My biggest pusher of my dreams tells me, if you're not willing to die for your goals, then they're not going to be achieved. If you're not willing to die for your goals, I see that in my mind all the time. This guy tells me all the time. He told me a long time ago, and I don't know if he even remembers it, okay? And his name is called Jeffrey Semagana. You guys should check him out. He has told me several times, if you're not willing to die for your goals, it doesn't matter. What am I talking about? You can achieve anything you want in life, but you have to get clear about what you want. Reverse engineer the objective. I want to make $10,000 this year. What does that mean? I must make at least $6,000 per month. What does that mean? That means that I have to make at least $2,000 per week. What does that mean? That every day I have to make 20 calls. That is called reverse engineering. What does making 20 calls every day means? That means that I have to be sending out 100 emails to get 20 phone calls to be able to make the money that I want. Reverse engineer your objectives. Take a whole day out, go sit somewhere alone and reverse engineer your objectives. That is what high performers do. Why? When they start to go after their goals, they are unstoppable because they don't have distractions. Which brings me to a story. I went to meet my other very good friend, Coach Cobras, and again, we were doing firewalking training. And it was me and my team because I like to, and I believe that if your team is growing, you're also growing at the same time. So we go, and one of the events that we do at the firewalking training is we go for what is called the lion walk. Now, I don't know about you, but walking with a lion is a crazy thing. So he actually surprised me the first time. He said, oh, we're going to go somewhere in the morning and we're just going to walk around the game park. So I thought, yeah, that's cool. You know what? Let's go walk around the game park. Who cares? So we go to walk around the game park. Little did I know we were going to walk with lions. We get there and the guy comes and says, hi, how are you? My name is some South African name. And he tells me what, he says, everybody get a stick. He gives all of us a stick and says, in a minute, I'm going to open and 5 lions are going to come out. I said, well, what did you just say? He said, yes, 5 lions are going to come out. Now we were in a position where you can't run, okay, because we had been put into an enclosure. So I'm thinking, okay, now if you pretend every day to be a strong coach, now is your time to show up. Anyway, they open the cage and 5 lions come out. These lions have been obviously tamed. Anyway, the guy says, we're going to take a walk for about an hour. Okay, we're going to take pictures, but we want you to understand that you have to get in touch with the vibration of the lions. Okay, so these lions come out, and man, if you've been next to a lion, you will know what I'm talking. It is the most amazing experience. Okay, first you're petrified. Okay, and then you're like, okay, they're not eating anybody yet. Okay, I don't want to be the first one. Okay, so then you're like, okay, but I can't be seen not doing. So I put myself out there. I say, okay, well, let's walk. So as we begin to walk, you know, I'm getting used to it. They're taking pictures, you know, and these guys who are walking with the lions, there was another 3 guys. They had in one pocket, one guy had a small pouch on the side, and they had raw pieces of meat. And as we walked, when the lions tried to walk away, they would throw pieces of meat to them and they would come back. Why? Because they wanted us to have great pictures. They wanted us to have a great experiment. So after we had walked for about 25 minutes, all right? Some of you are asking, Coach, are you standing or not? Yes, I'm standing. That is how I teach. Okay. So as we were walking after we had done for about 35 minutes walking, all of a sudden we see one of the lion's hair goes up and it stops, and in the distance, long distance away, there was this big gazelle. You guys know a gazelle, you know, one of those big juicy gazelle, one of those that you've seen lions that, you know, grab and eat like crazy. So one of these beautiful gazelles is not too far. It's about, say, 400 meters away. All right. Now, all of a sudden, all these lions get into hunting mode. Okay. And their hair goes up and they begin to go slowly and they begin to go down like this. Okay. Especially one of them that was really, it was the first one to see the gazelle. And you could clearly tell it was hunting time. Now, if you know anything about lions and hunting, that is a time you don't mess with. But this is what happened. This is the point I need you to get. These guys who were in charge of the tour, they brought out the other small pieces of meat and they threw at the lions, and the lions were distracted. All the 4 lions, 5 lions, they threw meat at them, and they completely forgot about the big, juicy lion, gazelle in the fire, okay? And I think it was me and Hassan and Helen and Jennifer, and we were like, well, before we didn't take it serious. Why? Because we're thinking, whatever, you know? Then after that, we got back and realized, guess what? That is a metaphor for life. You are so focused on the small things. You are so focused on the small goals. You don't have a bigger goal. Those lions could have chased that gazelle down, eaten it, and had a blast for, eaten for 3 days, because what? It looked nice and big and juicy. Instead, they were focused on these little small pieces of meat that were being thrown at them by these guys. The lions did not have a great vision. They didn't have a great focus. My question to you is, how distracted are you? What are those small things that take you away from building your legacy? What are those small things that are distracting you from building what you need to do? What are those small things that take you away from your big dream of making sure that your children go to private school and you do what you got to do? What are those small things that keep distracting you from your objective? Which brings me to the next point, the power of focus. Where focus goes, energy goes. Where energy goes, you get results. Most of us are focused on 10,000 things. No wonder we are masters of none. Have you ever seen somebody who tries to chase 2 rabbits? They end up catching none. High performers pick one thing and go after it like crazy with all their heart and soul. My question to you right now is, number 1, what is your objective? Is it big enough to prevent you from being distracted by small things? Is it big enough to prevent you from running after 2 rabbits because you'll catch none? I had somebody talk to me tell me in LinkedIn, oh no, but you see, being a generalist will creates what? I don't know what he said. Okay, being a generalist or creates communities or something. I said to him, how long have you been in business? He said, I've been 6 years. I said, what do you do? And he couldn't tell me what he does, okay? He said, I am in sales and leadership, but I also help out people in meditation. I said, how is your client list? He said, man, I'm struggling. I said, are you surprised? Why? Nobody knows you as an expert. Why? Your focus is all over the place. Where focus goes, energy goes. Where energy goes, you get results. My question to you is, how focused are you? Because high performance means you pick one thing, you put your heart and soul in it until you make it work. There's nobody who started off doing 10,000 things. No, they start off with one thing. They become a master at that one thing. Then they can venture out after they've mastered it. Next, resisting impulses. You must be able to resist impulses from instant gratification to attain more self-control, because business is delayed gratification. This is the biggest problem that we have as business people. I have struggled with it, and I know that there's some of you who struggle with it. That's why I talk about it. Okay, I might give you another slide that tells you a bit more about those. How many times do you check your phone, for example? Some of you right now, you're listening to this, but guess what? Haha! You are checking the phone, you're cooking, you're doing this, you have impulses, how many times some of you bite your nails, some of you, before even, your phone hasn't rung, but you're wondering, why hasn't anybody called me? By the way, I used to be like that. There are times if my phone didn't ring, or somebody didn't call me, and now I would say, oh my God, people don't love me. I don't give a damn if they love me, as long as I'm working on producing the best consulting business on the planet. I don't care if they don't call me. But it took me time to understand that I must resist my instant gratification. Now, let us go a little bit deeper here. Instant gratification means that you're not willing to pay the price. Instant gratification is video games. Instant gratification is sugar. Instant gratification is pornography. Instant gratification is masturbation. Instant gratification is short-term quickies. Instant gratification is one-night stands. Did I say to you earlier that you might not like me very much? Oh, I love you too. Thank you for that. You must resist those impulses, otherwise they're going to kill you. Otherwise, they're going to take everything away that you work for. You must resist checking your phone. You must resist that little small job. You must resist that little, oh my God, my son is getting married. And if you're my friend, I'm sure you would come. Shut up. Go to these meetings when you've made some money. You're much more useful to people when you have money, when you're rich. There's nothing as bad looking as a broke six-pack. Okay, I'm going to stop coming after you guys. But I know for a long time that unless somebody challenges you, you guys are going to stay where you are, and I would not have done my job. Eat clean, eat clean, eat clean, eat clean. I must confess right here, my most favorite food on the planet has always been fresh fish and chapati. If you have eaten chapati from Mombasa and or Dar es Salaam, you know what I'm talking about. Those women make chapatis that are out of this world. They are sweet, they're beautiful, they have layers, they have ghee, they have, you should see my face. I wish I could show you, but you got to pay for that. And the fresh fish, it's amazing. If you have a good tilapia, well cooked with oh man, and you combine that, guess what? It has been my biggest problem. That is why if you saw me 5 years ago, I was much bigger than I am now. Why? I was not eating clean. I was eating late. Most importantly, as a culture, we don't understand that your gut, what you put in your stomach, has a direct correlation on how your mind works. That is why productivity in Kampala, across the Kampala region and or in Africa generally, productivity in the afternoon goes down by 42%. Why? People go and eat buffet. What is on buffet? All kinds of crap. Now, I put my hand up, I'm guilty as charged. I used to do this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I do not say that all of a sudden you're going to step up, or you're going to get up and do it, but I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you. The people who have weight problems, those of you on here and you have a weight problem, your problem is not that you're not working out. Your problem is that you're eating the wrong stuff. Most importantly, you eat too much. That's right. Betty, I hope you know what you're getting into. If they call you and complain, I have no, it's just my words. I have no responsibility for these words. I just say what God is telling me right now. Eat clean. When you eat, you are what you eat. Eat clean to be more productive. You will look better. You will live longer. You'll be more energized. You will have great sex, for God's sake. Stop eating crap. Stop the chapati, stop. Look, have you noticed that the cancer rates have gone up in the country because of this? Every freaking place has got chikomando and all this stuff, okay? You look at our fathers and mothers and grandparents, they never used to eat this stuff. I was on top of the mountain in Mbale, okay? And I met a 101-year man. This was an amazing man. He, you know, actually the reason I got to speak to this guy is we were at a wedding for one of his grandchildren. He was 101, okay? And I would tell you, he's the grandfather to one of my ex-girlfriends, okay? Now, I go and I'm talking, I'm sitting next to this guy. And at about 7 o'clock, when the wedding is just beginning, if you've been to Mbale and you know how those guys party, you will know exactly what I mean. This guy gets up at 1 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, he grabs his chicken, which was given to him, and he walks out of the wedding. And I'm thinking, dude, where are you going? So I follow him and I say, hey, that, by the way, he was a teacher and he speaks fantastic English. So I said, where are you going? He says, I have a routine. I just told you guys about routine. And he says, I must be in my bed by 8 o'clock. I said, what? No wonder you're 101. He said, yes, by what? And he said, you watch. In about 10 minutes, my wife is going to follow me. True to it, his wife stood up and followed him. So I got more interested. I had to walk with him all the way. By the way, we walked for about 30 minutes to his place. And I'm asking him, so what else did you do? He said, number one, I don't eat late. Okay, right now I'm going back. It's a bit late, but I'm going to eat some food. I said, what kind of food do you eat? He says, if I don't recognize the name of the food, I can't eat it, which means pizza, fried chicken, and all this nonsense. He's not going to eat it. Why? He doesn't recognize it. Why are we getting sicker right now? It's diet. It's what we're putting into our stomachs, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? We get addicted to it. We get addicted to the sugar. I'm telling you right now, if you don't take anything else from me, learn to eat clean, you will be surprised. You will be surprised. By the way, it is one of the greatest things I've ever done, to learn to eat clean. Cut out the buffet. Just go and eat some vegetables and chicken. Okay? By the way, guess what? When you do that, other people are going to look at you and say, look at him, look at her, what's wrong with you? Who do you think you are? Whatever. Your biggest problem is going to be the people who are closest to you, your relatives. To reinvent yourself, you must do something that is regardless of other people's opinion. Discipline, 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 discipline. Discipline yourself to do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it, but you know it is what will change your life. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you cannot discipline yourself to wake up on time, to do the routine, to say no to sugar, to say no to chapati, to say no to useless wedding meetings and useless parties and this. If you don't have that discipline, I can tell you, my friend, your goals will never come to pass. You cannot discipline yourself to the necessary pillars, to a new frame of mind. This will not work out. No one does this perfectly all the time, but you must start somewhere. Do something simple. Do something small. Discipline yourself to say, you know what? I get my cup of tea in the morning. I don't eat until 2 o'clock. This is what is going to happen. Between 4 or 5 when you wake up and 2 o'clock, you're going to perform so well. Why? There is enough energy in your brain. It is not being disturbed by the mandazi, chapati, and all this nonsense you put into your system. Do a nice cup of coffee and then intermittent fast until 2 o'clock, then put in something light. That means that while you're awake, you are performing as a high performer. High performance is about you being able to produce more in little time than anybody else. And then, of course, consistency. It's not the one time that you do it. It's all the time. It's the months and months of executing the same routines, the daily actions, your plan to get where you want to go, okay? That is what it takes. And finally, it is loving the pain. This young man I told you earlier is not willing to pay the price, but he's coming to me so that he can say, oh, I went to Coach Phil and it didn't work. Loving the pain, ladies and gentlemen, means you're going to have to sacrifice. I was born and bred in the most beautiful city on the planet. And that beautiful city is called Ginger. Now, I don't care where you come from. Some of you are like, you haven't been to Ginger when you're saying that stuff. If you have been to Ginger, you know what I'm talking about. That actually excites me and also annoys a lot of people. No, I'm not in Minnesota, but I love Ginger with all my heart and soul. Now, I went away from this beautiful part of the world for a long time. For about 15 years, I went away and I come back. And naturally, if you know the source of the Nile and where the Nile goes away to go all the way to Egypt, and you see the sun setting on the river Nile, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to beauty of Ginger. Okay, enough of that. So one time I go back to Ginger, and naturally what you do when you go back to places where you grew up, you're going to find people that you grew up with. Now, these people you grew up with are still doing some of the stuff that you used to do when you're growing up, okay? And my pals in Ginger, and I love them to bits, and you know, they're my pals. I can never get up. I had the best time of my life when I was growing up. Anyway, so I go and I'm talking to these guys. I go on a Thursday. The guys are like, yo, Philo is in town. Da, da, da. So what do? Like they've always done, they go to the bar at about 5 o'clock. And usually, before I left, we used to go to the bar at 5, would leave at 2 a.m. every freaking day. All right? Not every freaking day, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever. Okay, and what do you do when you go to the bar? You drink alcohol, okay? You eat bad food, you talk women, you talk football, you fornicate, you go home. Yes, that is a life that I was living, and I'm not ashamed of it. But remember, where I'm coming from has nothing to do with where I'm going. So you judge me at your own risk. By the way, if you're judging me, then you're judging yourself too. Got you. Anyway, so one time I go back and we're having a drink, and come about 8 o'clock, I stand up and I tell the guys, hey guys, I've got to leave. I've got to go, and I've got to go now. And you should have seen their reaction. They all turned around and looked at me and said, what? Philo, you're leaving? I said, yes, I'm leaving. They said, man, what, how, why? Who do you think you are? You mean you don't party anymore? You have changed. Damn straight I have changed. Because if I want to earn the right to be able to be a high performance coach, to be able to change people's lives. I must understand that rest is important. I must be able to live and resist the urge and impulse to drink myself silly, go home, do my journaling, go to bed, rest, wake up and work on myself so that I can earn the right to be here to serve you. That means I have to reinvent myself regardless of what other people say. The pain you got to go through is the pain that is worth paying. Yes, I have changed. And they say, oh, you have changed. I say, damn straight I've changed. And yes, you ladies and gentlemen, you have to change. You have to reinvent yourself. I want to meet you in a year's time and I look at you and you say, damn, you have changed. And you say, yes, I've changed. Why? I am becoming the person that I ought to become for me to earn my goals. That is what it takes. You must sacrifice. You will miss birthdays. You will miss anniversaries. You will miss going to parties. You will even miss burying people. You will forget your wife's birthday. If that is what it takes, as long as at the end of it, you leave them something proud to look at, to say, I am proud I'm your husband. I am proud you're my daddy. That is what it takes. You never achieve anything by playing small and being a pussy about things. You pay the price. And yes, your family will resist. So be it. Now, if you don't like me, that is okay. But it's a fact. You got to pay the price because your old self will be in war with the person you are trying to become. It will fight you all the way. It will do whatever it takes. Your old self will say, who do you think you are? Your old self, you'll say, you know what, I'm not eating lunch anymore. Your old self will say, you're going to get ulcers if you don't eat. Shut up. When's the last time that Jesus got ulcers for fasting? Embrace the pain and discomfort until that voice fades away, where you take charge of your life, where you are, you know what, I am in charge. I decide when we eat. I decide when we sleep. When you do that, then you now have the desire deep inside you that will take you where you need to go. My time is up, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about you, but I've had such a good time. Betty, my time is up. I don't know if I should keep going or not. Let me see what is on the next slide. What's on the next slide? Before you go, Betty, before you go, let me just go. No, let's first go back. Let's first go back on that one. Okay. Let us just recap quickly. Okay. No. Back, Betty, back. If you want to become a high performer, no. Next. No. Let's go back to the routines, the one that has routines. Come on, Betty. That one, thank you. Let us recap. Number one, you must make a decision. You must have clarity. You must be willing to pay the price and pay the price. Don't just talk about stuff. Most of you are coming to this, in fact, Betty, if you could, you would. Don't allow people to just come and enjoy these conversations and go and do nothing. You should have a report card for everybody. If they're going to be part of this, the testimonials should be positive. Get your routines in place. Have objectives. Know what you want and reverse engineer it. Focus on one thing until you attain it and then move to the next one. Resist impulses. That helps you to take charge of your life. Eat clean. Eat clean, eat clean, eat clean. We have some of the most amazing food in this world. I tell you, Uganda is the most, we have got some food which is still untainted with all this rubbish. Discipline yourself to do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it, but just do it because it will give you the results. Be consistent. It is not a one-off. It's not a one-night stand. Do it like a marriage every freaking day. Then finally, love the pain. Do whatever it takes because your old self will fight you to try and take you back to default because it is much more comfortable in mediocrity. Step up your game. Let's go to the next one. I just want to summarize in 5 minutes. All the thoughts, all the energy, all the time you invest into the things that do not contribute to your success is energy away from your dreams. You must sacrifice them or your dreams will become the sacrifice. I want you to tattoo that on your heart. Next, Betty. All business and personal success at the end of the day is delayed gratification. It is the sum of the compoundments of the sum of the small efforts. Every day you must chip away. Every day, daily actions we put in, day out. Now, at this stage, I want to come back and say, hey guys, listen, I know I come at you hard, but that is what your coach should do. But on the other hand, I must tell you that I know it's not easy. I know it's going to be tough. You might say, I'm going to fast for a week, and then you lose it on Wednesday. You don't give up. You start again on Thursday, and then the Thursday becomes the Monday. The goal is not in giving up on yourself. The goal is in betting on yourself to say, you know what, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this happen. The job for you is to know, you know what, it's not going to happen overnight. For you to build a good muscle and have a good body like mine, you got to take some time. By the way, Daniel, I only say this because I'm trying to catch up with you. So just deal with it, man. I can't help it. All right. Next, Betty. Your biggest distractions that you must fight with all your being. Instant gratification. Common impulses we have in society as entrepreneurs, as human beings. Number one, checking on social media all the time, every time. How many of you have not checked? Betty, what are you doing to my slide? How many of you have been on your social media since morning? Okay. Some of you, your phone would get annoyed if you didn't check on it every 2 minutes. Okay. Picking up the phone to check for notification. If picking up the phone does not make you $1, why are you picking it up? I almost forgot that I'm with Betty's group. I almost said something where Betty would have gone, God bless you, coach. Craving sugars, that is a drug, ladies and gentlemen. Biting your nails, masturbation, being like, oh my God, I want to be like, Betty, what are you doing to my slide? You're putting stuff there. Being liked for everybody. Oh my God, what will they say if they don't like me, if I don't go? Yeah, so, by the way, I notice some of you go to church not to pray, but to be seen, to be praying. Hello. Going out to party and drink, playing video games, smoking, hitting the snooze button, buying some things impulsively. It is time to cut back on all these things. Get a list of 10 things, walk into the supermarket and buy 10 things. I'm challenging you because most of you, you go in the supermarket with 10 things, you come out with 22, and then you start regretting. Oh my God, how did I end up here? Duh, it is called destructive impulses. Let's go, Betty. Next one. Next one, so we can finish this. High performance and success equals discipline and sacrifice. You can't, you know, one of my coach friends keeps telling me, hey, you have two choices. You're either making money or making excuses. You can't do the both. You cannot do both. You either make money or you make excuses. Discipline and sacrifice equals your success. How willing are you to be disciplined to do what you don't want to do? Okay, are we hacked? I don't know. Let's just stick in there. Let's go, Betty, before the hacker catches me. Let's keep going. Next one. Okay, I've spoken about this, okay? Discipline equals loving the pain. If you want to get abnormal results, you need to do the abnormal stuff. You need to surround yourself only with people who are going to help you to be abnormal. Sometimes you have to isolate yourself, okay? Those of you who are coaches, mentors, and people like that on this call, I want to give you a challenge. I want you to isolate yourself 3 out of 4 days every week for the next month. Out of those 3 days, you do not get into contact with nobody. All you do is focus on having the best program on the planet. Focus on being your best version. Talk to me in a month's time and see how things are going to change for you drastically, okay? Next time you are in the gym and you are in excruciating pain, take control of your mind, push your body. When it wants to stop, that is when you start counting the reps. I challenge you to that, okay? Next time a business challenge arises, you don't back down. You confront it, you look pain in the eye and say, I am absolutely going to demolish you because I'm in charge and my dreams are much more important. Next time you want to back out of your work block is where you're doing things and say, for the next 2 hours, I'm not touching my phone, I'm not doing anything, okay? Because you are losing focus, you don't stop, you fight through it, you right through the barrier to retain a longer focus capability. Next time you feel like going out, masturbating, drinking, fill in the blank. And next time you want to do any of those things, okay? Stop and take charge and focus on your bigger picture or the opposite of that. In your journey, push the barriers and commit to new heights in every single area where challenges arise, and be relentless, be relentless, be relentless. Let's go, next one. Let's go, be relentless, be relentless. Next one, Betty. Okay. This one's, I bet you share this, okay? Pitfalls to avoid trying to be busy, okay? Don't do busy work, do effective work. Lack of action. Most of you on here, okay? I'm going to get a card. Betty, I want everybody who's been on here, and I want to check on them in 3 months and ask them, did you take action? Or did you get this stuff and then just go on living your life, okay? Why do you come here and then just live without taking action? Huh? Yes, as your coach, I've got to hold you at a higher level because I see where you could be, not where you are. The biggest challenge all of you have, the biggest challenge we all have is that we had the wrong parenting, okay? Our parents screwed up our lives. They didn't tell us that for you to get where you need to go, you must work harder than anybody else. One of the things I'm going to recommend to you is this book. This book changed my life because 99% of all the clients I see who are African, they have a self-esteem problem. They have a self-esteem problem. I will tell you why I recommend this book, okay? I was watching T. Harv Eker, and he was interviewing multi-millionaires, 6 of them. And he asked them, at what stage did you realize you could earn $1 million? All of them, except one, said one thing. He said, when my self-esteem and confidence went to the next level. The times that you build your greatest self-esteem is when you're a young person. The time that you build your self-esteem is between 3 and 12. Who are the biggest influencers in your life between 3 and 12? It's your parents. Now, the reason you don't have great self-esteem is your parents. And yes, I told my mom that and she knows it. So don't think that I'm coming after only your mom. No, even my mom knows it. You must earn the right. Know that the input isn't going to go away directly. I'll give you the title a little bit later. Let's go, Betty. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. I want to finish in time. I want to try and finish in time. This is the master algorithm. It doesn't matter what is true. Only what you believe is true, because with discipline and work, that will become true. I think this person who's writing on this screen was so pissed off with what I was saying that they decided to be a distraction. But they didn't realize that this is the against all odds group. We don't give a damn about what other people think about us, do we? So we keep rocking and rolling, okay? Because it doesn't matter what is true, only what you believe is true, because with discipline and hard work, that too will become true. Let's go, Betty. Let's go, Betty. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I come to the end of what I want to say, let's get to work and recreate our lives for the better forever, okay? It is a very powerful concept where we say something might seem impossible now, but with work, belief, and hard work and time, everything is possible. I want to take this opportunity, next slide, please, to say to you guys that, you know what? Everything you ever wanted in your life, you can achieve. And I don't say that just to say it, but I'm telling you what, you better believe it, okay? I was born and bred in Ginger. If you see my circumstances of where I came from to where I have gotten, it has nothing to do with a silver spoon. It has everything to do with this particular equation right here. Number one, I started to change my beliefs. I started to believe that I can become somebody. Then when that belief kicked in, I started to take massive action with confidence. Then that action started to give me results that I was becoming somebody else, the #1 high performance coach on the planet. I say that to myself every day before I sleep, before I wake up. I say it over and over again. I said it when I was running the London Marathon 10 years ago. It came to pass. What am I sharing with you? If you do this stuff, you take massive action, you experience reality, you get feedback, you do again over and over and over, you will then appreciate that who am I is the wrong question. Where you are coming from is irrelevant. The most important question in your life is, who am I becoming? If I have not stirred something in your heart to, #1, to say you can do it, #2, to know that you've got to do whatever it takes to become a high performer, then I haven't done a good job. However, if you're totally pissed off with me today, I am so happy with that. I hope that we have a cup of coffee one of these days so that you can tell me why you're so annoyed, so that I can tell you that that has nothing to do with what I said, but with everything that has got to do with the inside of you. Next slide, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I come to my end of time with you here, I must tell you, okay, this is a hypothesis, okay? Some of you were asking earlier, I think it was the last one. Sorry, I've been on too many of these today, so I get mixed up, okay? This hypothesis everybody must have, okay? You're in a position where you're asking yourself, hey, listen, I only have $500 in my bank right now, okay? I want to start a consulting business. What do? You go out, you start a consulting business. That is the blue and yellow there. And then the result of that is that you don't get any clients, okay? You don't get any clients. Now, what does that mean? You go back and reiterate. You say, you know what? I started off the wrong way. What I need to do is I need to get onto Coach Phil's free course, and he will teach me on how to start a consulting business that is a killer. Ha! Betty, did you just see that master one there? Yeah. That is how you make a hypothesis work. You are in a position right now, you're fat, you're not healthy, all right? Now, when I say you're fat and you get annoyed, guess what? That is you, not me, okay? By the way, I used to be very healthy too. Now you say, okay, I'm going to start going to the gym. You go to the gym, but guess what? By the yellow circle is going to the gym. The green circle is after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, nothing has changed, okay? You go back and you try to say, what is the problem? The problem is not the gym. The problem is when you come from the gym, you go and eat pork and cassava and chapati and drink beer, and that is the reason why the weight is not going. So you go back and say, okay, what am I? I am fat. What am I going to do? I'm going to go to the gym, but I'm going to change my food. Then 2 weeks later, you have lost 2 pounds and you're like, wow, it was always a diet thing. It had nothing to do with the gym. The gym was complementing the diet. That is how you do what you got to do, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you who are looking to take this to the next level, you know what to do. Betty, let's go next slide, please. Let's go. This is why I have to say, yes, I might have come after you, but it has been an honor. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I don't take this for granted. And yes, my style has always been in your face, but that is why you see people like Betty stepping up and doing what they have to do. Because I realized a long time ago, if somebody sent the elevator down for me, they were not kind to me. My first conversation with Jeff Semaganda was that, look, you have to work hard to make this happen. And I hope that I was able to touch somewhere in your heart to say to you that it is possible, but you've got to work. Creating high performance is not for the faint-hearted. It's about sacrificing. It's about doing whatever it takes. Okay. Now, if some of you on here want to do what I do, I know Betty, I know Daniel, and you want to create some amazing things in your life, right now, the most important part of your life is about teaching other people. If you want to learn how to do that, hey, you got it there, okay? Join me on my free training on how to start and grow your consultancy and online training business, okay? And that is a one-stop shop for everything. I teach you what I've done in the last 18 years. I guarantee you, you will be successful. So until next time, Betty, next slide. Until next time, please remember it has been an absolute pleasure, an honor to be here. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. Remain hungry, remain humble, most importantly, understand that you have the audacity to live life on your terms. Thank you. Over to you, Betty.
Thank you so much, Coach Phil. You have added great value to us all, and I cannot thank you enough for always having a giving spirit, being a river, not a reservoir, and wanting everyone to live up to their full potential. Thank you. Over to you, Rosette.
Thank you, Betty, for that. Thank you, Coach Phil. Next, we are supposed to have a health break, but we are running really, really behind time. So I'll hand you over to Daniel. Are you ready?
I'm always ready. When Coach Phil fire you like that, the sales warrior is always ready.
Okay, over to you, Daniel. If you want to give us a short health break, and then you move on to the Q&A. The stage is yours now.
Asante sana. Coach Phil, my brother, what can I say? Kaboom! That's how you do it. Thank you so much for that tantalizing, I learned this word a couple of days ago, tantalizing presentation. So thank you so much, Coach. Thank you so much, Betty, for putting this together. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the sales warrior, Daniel Chaudhry. This brief health break that I want to talk about is majorly about the Betty O'Gill Foundation. Having had everything that Coach Phil has done and said and punched into your system, we have something to talk about now. I read the book of Betty, Against All Odds, and today I was very keen on listening on the podcast, the small video about her story, about what she's doing with Against All Odds. And the one thing that really I focused on is that Against All Odds is helping so many young girls from Eastern Uganda, majorly Karamoja and Teso, to go to school the way Betty was helped by the Reverend Sister. So we need to really come as a team, as a family, as the 67 people. Actually, there were 71, but the 67 people who are attending this webinar. Here is my rally cry. Betty was assisted through a journey to study to a point where she has become one of the master performers in as far as HR consultants is concerned, but also to become one of the best coaches under the John Maxwell platform. That was because of one generous heart. So here is my appeal to all of us. Can you pick one girl under the Betty O'Gale Foundation? Can you pick one girl and start sponsoring them from wherever they are right now to university? As I speak now, I'm doing for 3 children in Padibe. I come from Padibe in Lamour district in Kitgum, from Padibe Girls Primary School. That's the school I studied my primary school. Don't worry about the girls. There are also other boys who studied the same school. But you know, it's very embarrassing to talk about I studied Padibe Girls Primary School. But those are minor details. So I've picked 3 girls that I help every time to go through school. And I promise myself, this is a dedication I'm going to do for as long as I am available here and take these children up to university or wherever they can go and give them somewhere to start on in life. I know some of us present here this evening, we are doing fairly well, probably in our careers, in our businesses, in anything that we're doing. Can you pick a girl and help? But even if you're not able to pick a girl and help, can you this evening contribute something out of whatsoever mobile money you have? There is a mobile money number down here. Can you contribute 10,000? Can you contribute 20,000? Can you contribute 100,000 or 200 or 500,000? I know we can say, yes, COVID is there, but can you contribute 5,000 to help a girl child to go to school? I was in Karamoja early this year in February, and I was in Moroto. So I went to a place deep in the hills, and there's this girl, 11-year-old girl child. I actually posted on my Facebook page, those of you who follow me. So this 11-year-old, the father was selling her away for marriage. Like the father had already gotten the money from this old man, of a 67-year-old man, who wanted to defile this 11-year-old child. And that is the scourge, that is the pain most of the girls in Karamoja, in the greater Teso are going through. If you can help with 20,000, 10,000, 50,000, 5,000, whichever you have on your mobile money right now, we will be able to help so many girls to go to school. You may say, but Daniel, 5,000 is small. But you know, against the journey of 1,000 miles begins as 10. So your 5,000, £1, $1 equals to 5,000. Let me just talk about this. £1 equal to 5,000 shillings, Uganda shillings. So can you give us £1? Can you give us £2? Can you give us, I call it a gratitude pound. It's a gratitude pound for this evening of tantalizingness. That was, I know that word doesn't exist, but I just came up with it. Tantalizingness from Coach Phil. If you could just be able to get into your coffers, give us some 5,000, give us some 10,000, give us some 20,000, some 50,000, whichever you can be able to do this evening, you would have done a great job to ensure no other girl child in Teso, no other girl child in Karamoja region is married off when she's 11, when she's 12. It's a painful experience. So I want you to go to the chat room, just put there your pledge. Are you giving us 5,000? Are you giving us 10,000? Are you giving us 20,000? Put there your pledge, and then we'll follow up with you. Also put there your number. If you have the money right there, send it immediately to this phone number. I know the bank accounts are here, but if you want to take a girl through from the start to university or maybe to a tertiary institution, you can also have a chat with Julius Rubanga, the Mr. Ansam of Betty O'Gale Rubanga. You know, she said, Mr. Ansam, that guy is powerful. So you could be able to talk to them, talk to Betty herself, and see a way of how to help this girl child. So I thought I should come with this battle cry, because the Betty O'Gale Foundation is here to really help people like Betty to make it in life. Even me personally, the sales warrior, somebody helped me. Father Luciano Spalletti Fulvi in Layibi College helped me to pay me from senior 1 to senior 4 before somebody killed him. So we are just people who can be able to make it in life as a result of other people's help. I can guarantee you, I am who I am because of other people's help who are not my relatives. So ladies and gentlemen, can we get to our coffers and do something? I'm starting away, I'm sending 20,000 shillings. I know somebody said, Daniel, that is small, but I'm thinking about several other things that I'll be doing as well on this journey. So I started with 20,000 shillings. I see Brenda Badge is doing 20,000 shillings. Somebody's doing 100,000 shillings from Coach Phil. So let's do it. Having said that, now let's get back to the Coach Phil, tantalizing detonation. He detonated us. So I know you have questions. So if you've got questions, this is the right time for us to ask the questions. Go to the chat room and ask your questions. Whichever your question is, just put in the chat room over there. I'll be able to read the questions and then we'll go on from there. But if I request Betty, can you also unmute people so that I can pick people? Just put your hands up. This webinar, this Zoom as a platform for putting your hands up. If you can put your hands up, I'll pick on you and you'll ask your question. So I'll start right away. I know she has not put her hands up, but my mother is here. I always want to give her the due respect that she deserves. Christine Obonyo Chayonka. She's my mother. I love her very much. Mommy, do you have any questions? If you do, please unmute Mommy so she can be able to ask the question. And the rest of us, we can also ask questions. Go to the chat room. You can ask there. It's much more organized there, but you can also raise your hand here and then you go ahead and ask your questions. Let's do it right now. Any questions? Can we unmute them so that people can ask? We have just about 15 minutes maximum to deal with this question. So there's a question from KG. There's a question here, Coach Phil, from a gentleman or from somebody called KG. How do you deal with business partners who are just about money? How do you deal with business partners who are just about money? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I see the contribution is coming very powerfully. My brother Joseph is 50K, Gloria 20K, Martha 50K. So let's start with that question, Coach Phil. Can you just go ahead and answer this as other people are also writing their questions in the chat room? How do you deal with business partners who are just about money? Over to you, my brother, Coach Phil. Are we guys here? Betty, are we here?
Yes.
The place is really quiet.
Oh,
my brother, go ahead.
Let me enable
Coach Phil.
Yes.
Okay. You have unmuted me now. Hey, Daniel, always a pleasure, and thank you so much for that. In terms of business partners, I have had, I'm a veteran. I've been around, man. I've been around. I've had a lot of partnerships, and I'll tell you straight away, if the vision and the clarity is not there at the beginning, don't waste your time, because when you get it wrong at the beginning, then it is going to be a problem all the way. Okay, I give you an example right now. For me to do any partnership with anybody, anything, okay, I do what they call the Dreyfus test. The Dreyfus test is I will find out, for example, if I want a partnership with Daniel, and we say we're going to build, something together, and I know it is going to take every part of our system. This is what I'll tell Daniel. I'll say, Daniel, guess what? Our first meeting, first of all, I'll find out what Daniel, when Daniel's birthday is, when his wife's birthday is, and his beautiful daughter's birthday, and I know he can't miss those. Then I'll say to him, the meeting is happening, Daniel, I would like to meet you about this great deal. Let us meet at 1 o'clock on the Sunday of your daughter's birthday. Now, this is what happens. If Daniel doesn't show up, that means the commitment is not there from the start. I will never do business with him. Why? Doing business with people who are not committed to do whatever it takes is always going to come to this question. They are much more interested in the money. They're much more interested in, number two, if you are in a deal with a business partner who is more interested in the money, ask yourself, why did I get in that position in the first place? That's number one. But most importantly, ask yourself, what is the opportunity cost of continuing in business with this person? Let me explain. I have always told leaders, it is not the people that you don't fire. It is not the people that you fire that are the problem. It is the people who you don't fire and they stay that are the problem. Why? They will cost you much more in the future. They bring bad energy, they're paying in the wrong place. But tell me, when is the last time you worked very well, when you had it at the back of your mind that this partner of mine is not putting in the work and is just here for the money?
Oh, yeah.
It bugs you down. It causes stress. It brings you down. You must have that conversation, that frank conversation, and say, look, dude, it's not working. I'll tell you, it happened to me when I first started. It happened to me. First, my best friend decided to go. All right. Then I brought on 2 other people because I was trying to get the ropes in UG to see how it works. They had negative energy. I was stressed. I couldn't come to work. I just got up and said, I love you, but we're done. Okay. And people are like, oh my God, you can't go on your own. Who said it? It's not who I am, it's who I'm becoming. So I want you to have confidence to know, you know what? It's going to be okay. Fire them so that you're in a position where if it means you start again, you will go much faster, much quicker than have baggage of somebody who is not interested in the dream. I hope that helps you, okay? Be courageous. If you're in partnership with somebody who's not pulling their weight, do not bother. Yeah. Do not bother. The price you pay long term is much more than if you cut the code and say, I'm done, I'm out of here, bye. That will help you to reset and come back again. You come back bigger, better. Other than, you're tiptoeing about, oh my God, I don't know if I hurt his feelings. Shut up. We all have feelings. Daniel, to you.
Yes, asante, brother. You keep firing him up every single time I listen to you talk. But here's the thing. I also have one more question. While others are putting their hands up to ask questions, my question is, in a situation where, okay, I'm going to ask my question probably towards the last. Let me first allow Arturo Amos. Can you unmute Arturo Amos to ask? And then I will be able to ask mine.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Yes, my brother. Good to see you.
Good to see you and hear from you too. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Betty. It's the first time I'm actually attending Against the Odds talks. I should say I'm thrilled, and I definitely look forward to having my contribution towards this foundation. I can also see my friend Joseph Ajal. I know I haven't met him yet, but we're doing something small with him at office. Joseph, I look forward to meeting you one of these days. Coach Phil, I followed you a couple of times, and I follow you closely on LinkedIn. I know you've done amazing things, and of course, it was one of the reasons I got very excited to be on the call. My name is Amos Arturo, like Daniel, my colleague, has said, and I'm a learning and development specialist in terms of career, but I also run a consulting firm, Creative Tailor Consult. My question is, currently, Coach Phil, I know you've touched performance management to a broader perspective, and how we can reinvent ourselves or support businesses to reinvent themselves to be able to.
Thank you for the shoes. Bernie, thank you for the shoes.
To achieve exceptional results. Two things. Currently, the real estate industry is suffering so much, especially businesses that have been relying on foreigners, for as main customers. The fact that the airports are closed and borders still closed, we have very less tourists coming through, and some of our partners are asking us to come up with concepts on how we can help them turn around this ugly situation, because it can't go on forever, otherwise the businesses might close. So I want you to give us a few tips on how best you think from a strategic perspective we can support some of these partners. And also, if you look at microfinance, during COVID, 3+ months of lockdown, many of the customers that have loans, either in cash or in form of systems, products, have not been paying. So the credit portfolio in different microfinance institutions is horrible. If you can also hint on how best you think from a learning and development perspective, how we can strategically place ourselves to support these business entities. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, my brother Amos. We need to connect soon. But hey, guys, before I ask my question, and other questions also coming, I know many of you have made pledges, but if you've got it on your phone right now, send it to these numbers which are down here. Like I said, this foundation benefits or work on the context of us helping. It doesn't have a funder from the US, doesn't have a funder from the UK. It has funders who are us, the people who are benefiting from the Against All talks. So if you have it right now, just go on with it and send it right away. So my question to you, Coach Phil, is, in a situation whereby you've been hit left, right, and center with so many negative occurrences, for me, I'll be very direct. Lost a son, lost a marriage, business has failed here, somebody at home is very sick, rent in office is hitting you badly, everything else is seemingly to be right in your face. How do you keep the focus? How do you bounce back from a situation whereby you're totally drained emotionally, you're totally drained from a mental stress angle? How do you really lift yourself up again and go again? So I'm asking this question for a lot of people who are now maybe going through a lot of other edgy situations and they don't know how to bounce back. So that's my question.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and other questions are coming. First, maybe deal with those two. While I requested the members, let's do something to help Betty or Girl Foundation. Let's do it right now. Thank you. Coach, over to you.
Okay, Daniel, let me first go to Amos because there might be some things there that we might cross over to the question. But first, Amos, first of all, thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate that. I just want a little bit of clarity on the first question. Can you just repeat what that question was? Because I looked at, there was another voice that was coming in, so I missed what I was writing. Can you just come again on that for me, please?
Okay, thank you, Coach Phil. My question basically is around businesses that are struggling. It's a little more on not individuals. It's about businesses that are struggling to cope up in terms of performance, and specifically in terms of mindset of the employees. People, there's lots of anxiety, lots of uncertainty, lots of job insecurity. Lots of lost focus from organizations, so that in turn has greatly affected employees, and that is affecting their day-to-day and definitely affecting how they are working. I hinted at real estate and also hinted at microfinance portfolios. Yes. And partners are struggling on how to work with employees during this time. So performance has definitely dipped. So I wanted you to just give us, guidance or tips on how best you think from a strategic perspective, we can be able to support such partners.
Okay, wonderful. I get it now. Okay, Amos, two things. This is an unprecedented time in our lives where only the people who see the opportunity beyond the problems are going to thrive eventually. Now, in saying that, like you, I have clients who are in all these, I've got a microfinance, I've got a bank, and I've got all these guys. But I'll tell you something interesting. One of my clients actually, which is a bank, is actually projecting to make a lot more money than they did last year, regardless of the COVID. Now, the question might be, what have they done differently? Okay, the first time that when the situation came, there was quick oversight from the leadership. They realized, hey, guess what? If this continues for 1, 2, 3 months, we're going to be in trouble. So they called me, we sat down and said, what are the worst scenarios? What are the best scenarios? But you see, the fundamentals are the same, Amos. Okay, let's look at the microfinance. People don't have money to pay. People are struggling out there, okay? But what is the real biggest challenge for the microfinance? Is to make sure that the people that they were supporting can get themselves back on their feet to be able to what? To pay again, to be able to become clients. So now the microfinances have got to realize they're not lending money anymore, they're now business advisors. They must realize that before, where they did not look at their customers as the most important thing, now they have no option. They need to be doing what they were doing in the first place, become strategic partners for their clients. What do I mean? I'll give you an example with one of my clients that we did. These guys had specialized in guys who bring in wine and stuff like that. They're making a lot of money. Then the wine industry was hit. They said, what do we do? Okay, we got to find a way. The most important thing, are we done? The most important thing they did was to go and start talking to the wine guys to say, guys, what can we do? Do you know what they did? They went and got seven big time wine importers. They sat them together and said, guys, we must not go down. What do we do? Our job is to support you financially, but what do we do? These guys came up with some amazing ideas. Now, I can't give you the details, but I'm telling you that instead of them saying, you got to give us the money, you got to do whatever you got to do, they have to turn around and say, what do we do to make sure we don't go down? Please mind the language. Not you don't go down, but we don't go down. Okay? Then the second thing they did was they were not focusing on farmers at all. Why? Because they said, the money for farmers is not great. Guess what? Who has the money right now? It's the farmers. And if you're a great farmer right now, you're making a killing. Why? Whether we want to not COVID or not, people are going to eat. So these guys have reinvented. Right now, they are going after farmers like crazy. And they're not going to them telling them we want to give you money. No, they're going to them and creating synergies and saying, okay, you're a chicken guy. We've got this guy who does maize bran. We put them together, bingo, great stuff. Now those two people see this bank as the person to go to. What am I talking about, Amos? People have now got to completely change the business model from we are now going to our clients to see how they can pay back to we are now going to support them to see how they can pay back. Does that make sense, Amos? Okay. And in all of those incidences, it doesn't matter. The airport is closed, but guess what? There's some trucks that are coming in. Guess what? The first thing that China did was to make sure that the cargo planes can still move. Guess what? Whatever you say or do, Jumia is making money. Jeff Bezos has just increased his net worth by about $32 billion. Why? They have gone and looked at the opportunity. I said to you while we were in the session, where focus goes, energy goes. Where energy goes, you get results. You focus on what is wrong, life is going to give you more of what is wrong. Now we change and say, our job is not to find out, okay, our clients are not doing great. I'll give you a fantastic example. I did a training in Mbarara with one of my clients. Okay. And as we were leaving, we went to the market in Barra, and there was this lady, because I was in the car, a branded car for the client. We go around this place and the lady says, you guys are from that bank. I like those guys. They look after me very well. I said, what? So I got to hand, we engage. I said, what do they look after you? They say, the lady in charge of my account is very understanding. She comes to me. She talks to me. She advises me. In fact, she visited me when I gave birth to my child. That client has now seen the bank as a partner, not a bank, as a partner. They have gone beyond. Now, those of you who are mentors, coaches on here, I remember on one of the chats that me and Daniel are on, the question was asked again, 4 or 5 months. I said, right now, focus on lifting the spirits of your clients, giving them tools to see the opportunity, challenging them to, because naturally, the first thing we do is, oh my God, it's going down. And guess what? This brain is fantastic. You ask it a stupid question, it's going to give you a stupid answer. So, Amos, let us go back and sit down with our clients and say, okay, hey, listen, where is the opportunity in this? The guy who used to bring in cars is now bringing cars at a what? At a loss, for example, okay? What do you do to help them? What you do to help them is to make sure that the people who are buying the cars are liquid. How do you do that? By helping them to provide better services so that they can still pay. One bank has given they've given 6 months leeway to make sure that people can bounce back. They haven't said we're writing the loan off. They haven't sent bailiffs. No, they've said, how can we support you? Now, in there, you have to go much deeper and look for the opportunity, Amos, and say, okay, how can we help the loans to be paid back? Because that is the question now. The question is not, oh, we're going to lose the loan. No, the question is, how can we help those guys? Now you become an advisor of business. Now you start doing trainings on financial management. Now you start doing trainings on, like we've just done, on discipline, on high performance and things like that. Amos, I hope that I've answered that. Now, in purposes of time, Daniel, your question is very, very, very valid. And I'm going to say 2 things right here. And I am glad, Betty, that there are so many of these coaches and mentors on this group. The biggest problem as Africans, as a Black human being, is that us as coaches have failed to work together. Okay, our biggest problem is our egos. We are so freaking ego. I tried to do something. Daniel, you know that. Okay, Lawrence, you know that. But guess what? We fell apart because we don't understand that the only way we can really make something happen is if we work together. Now, Daniel, this stuff you're going through, all of us are going through. I'm telling you that, okay? You remember when I met you First time I met you after, after the bad occurrence, after the young man, the captain going. When I met you, I didn't do the pity party. Do you remember that? I said to you, everything happens for a reason. Do you remember that? I said, you got to be strong. I said, you got to fall back. But I said, most importantly, what is the message to you? What is the loss of your son to you? That means you got to build a bigger, better legacy. Right now, it is shit. We all have problems. I tell you what I did with my team. I went to them and said, guys, we don't have clients. You know that the retainers are being canceled. You know things are bad. Now, this is the deal. I can let you go, or, Amos, this is very, very crucial. I said, what do you think we should do? They came up with ideas. I said, I'm not going to fire any of my guys because I've been with my guys for a long time. I said to them, you're going to take a pay cut. Number 2, you're going to work from home. Number 3, you're going to become high performance. Number 4, you're going to do whatever it takes. But most importantly, we're going to pivot because there's no more team building, guys. But our clients need us to help them to step up. They need us to help them to do other things in terms of team building. Remotely, how are we going to do it? And the moment I asked that question, I didn't tell them what I thought. I asked them, how are we going to do it? And the brain switched on and answers started to come. Yes, we started to pay half salary for a little bit, and then we started to get some things going in. Most of you have noticed I've pivoted my business quite a bit. And this is something that I would have loved, that if all the coaches and mentors were in the same room, we would be doing some amazing stuff together, because the ideas from all of us would find a way to help us, to help our clients better. Therefore, our clients would see us as a solution. Yeah. What am I saying, Daniel? All this stuff that is happening right now, it hasn't killed you yet, Daniel. It is only going to make you better. You're going to learn something. My question to you is, what are you focusing on? That's one. Number 2, where do you need to be honest with yourself? Okay? Do you remember our conversation? I told you I work 5 minutes from my home. I don't have to use transport. I don't have to go nowhere. I don't need anybody to see that I have a great, I have not printed business cards in 6 months. Why? If you love me and you know that I can help you out, you will find a way to find me. By the way, I got that from my mentor. He says, if you do such a good job, people will do whatever it takes to find you. I have not gone out and said, I'm going to have the most fancy office. I have a pretty good office. It is also a studio, but I've cut down on unnecessary stuff. By the way, I also have decided, Daniel, that if you notice, if you find me, I'll always be in a black t-shirt and a blue jean. I got this from Steve Jobs. Why? I don't need to waste time in the morning worrying about what I'm going to wear. I don't need to waste, my girls at home know every freaking other day I eat kalo and fish, end of story. Year in, year out. Why? I don't have to think about this shit. I must focus on making money, Daniel. So all this stuff, marriage, listen, I've gone through bad marriages. I've gone through all this stuff. I need you to take a step back, go away, go to Pade, go to some beautiful place and say, what is the message you want me to get, God? And then say, what are those unnecessary things I'm going to stop? And then get good counsel. Surround yourself with some amazing people, okay? People who don't kiss your ass, but people who say, Daniel, you have been through all this shit. Are you telling me now this is going to break you? No, it just needs a new perspective. It just needs you to switch on differently. It just needs you to know, you know what? This is demanding a new you. This is demanding something that you dig deeper to say, God, you have given me a challenge, but also in there you have blessed me, because I didn't come here to be told what to do. I came here to leave a legacy. And these things will begin to disappear. You will notice that when you focus on serving your clients better than anybody else, then things begin to turn around. Give pro bonos, do free stuff. Right now, give them some amazing stuff. Give your heart out. Before you know it, they call you and say, Coach, you know what? Can you do it 2 hours for my guys? Why? I heard you doing this. And you know what? By the way, I did a session recently. I did not expect to be paid. They sent me, $1,500 for 30 minutes on Skype. Okay? Why? I noticed that that is the new business. Now, so guys, we could talk until the cows come home, but I hope that for you, Amos and Daniel, I hope I've given you some stuff. Right now, our job as mentors, speakers, trainers is not to sell stuff. No, but it's to sell a future that is going to be better. Listen, Corona is here to stay. Does that mean we're going down? Not at all. Does that mean that we're going to get out of business? Not at all. That means you have to reinvent. I've been telling you guys, reinvent ourselves. The first things you have to do, Betty, is get everybody on the same page. If there was a mastermind of, you guys read about all these guys, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, all these guys get together all the freaking time. You tell Ugandans to get together. Oh, what does he want? Anyway, I digress. Daniel Amos, have I answered your questions, please?
Totally, my man. I'll continue personally. We'll have a chat more. Thank you so much, Mr. Detonator, the powerful, fireworker. My mentor, my brother, Coach Phil.
Thank you, sir.
I love you, bro. I love you. This is powerful. Thank you so much for giving us this intensity. So over to you, Rosette. By the way, members, if you still have some contribution, be it 5,000, whichever you have. At least if you have benefited from this webinar, do something as far as helping the Betty O'Gill Foundation. That's all from me. Thank you so much. Over to you, Rosette. The warrior from Padibe say, adios.
Indeed.
Rosette, if Rosette is not there, Betty, take it away.
Okay. Thank you so much. Friends, I call you all my friends because you took your time to attend the 14th Against All Odds talks. When we began the Against All Odds talks in May, to be exact, it was 1st of May 2018. It was attended by 23 people, including myself, my husband, my nieces. It was a family event and friends event, and some colleagues of mine from work came to attend. By then, the guest speaker, the first guest speaker of Against All Odds was Amos Wekesa. And Against All Odds started as the story of a girl from Karamoja who was abandoned. It was a story of Against All Odds book. But I think most of you who have attended many times, like Christine Cheyonka, who is a John C. Maxwell coach as well, has attended many times, you can attest that Against All Odds talks is beyond Betty O'Gill's story. It is about adding value to people. Because we value people, I personally believe everybody can make it in life. Everybody can fulfill their potential. If me, O'Gill, Betty, Against All Odds, from Karamoja, abandoned, beaten by a snake, slept in the sports field for 3 years, lost my speech, suffered a brain injury, and got paralyzed, and is still living with the paralysis, can go this far in life. Anyone at all can fulfill their potential. So as we part ways, I would like to thank all of you for attending. Thank my special friend, coach, mentor, Coach Phil Kambe, the man who encouraged me, the man who has made me begin to become comfortable with being uncomfortable, the man who looked me in the eyes and told me with a speech impairment, and told me, I don't care what you are going through, what you have gone through. I don't care the fact that you grew up in Karamoja. What I care is you can live up to your potential. And ladies and gentlemen, that is why we are here tonight, this evening. I would also like to thank the sales warrior, my brother from another mother. Thank you so much for being part of the Against All Odds talks, and again, Betty Ogiel Foundation. This afternoon, I was talking to Rosette, and I told her, I think Rosette, we might consider to change the name of the foundation from Betty Ogiel Foundation to Against All Odds Foundation, because I find myself always saying Against All Odds Foundation. Then a great thanks to my great friend Rosette Wamambe, Coach Rosette. We have walked journeys together. I met Rosette in my current workplace. She was the legal manager, I was the HR officer, and we became friends and we connected. She became my matron. I am accountable to her. So beyond this, this Against All Odds, I have more accountabilities to Rosette. But not only that, Rosette is also a leadership and a productivity coach. I admire her. I always want to keep her around me. Wherever I go, I call, I beckon Rosette, and she comes along. That is why she is the John Maxwell certified speaker and coach as well. The young man who testified gave us his experience of attending Against All Odds, and shared with us the impact Against All Odds talks has done to him. John Mary, thank you, God bless you. And I would like to recognize all the coaches, and mentors that have attended this webinar. It does not matter who certified you. It matters that you have given yourself to adding value to others. So I thank you. Special thanks go to the John Maxwell coaches who joined us. I saw Gualia, my friend from US, is still here, and Angela. They were a number of them. And in Uganda, I saw Leopoldina has been around. My sister Christine has also been around. Thank you for always supporting and walking the walk with me. And lastly, I would like to thank all the people who have contributed tonight. We have got, I don't know, Mr. Against All Odds is still adding up the figure, and we will post the figure in the WhatsApp group we formed for this webinar. and just for accountability purpose. But we got a contribution from Martha. Martha contributed 50,000. Stella contributed 50,000. Carolina 20,000. Coach Phil 100,000. Bella gave us 20,000. Thank you very much. Joseph Ajal, my brother, 50,000. We have received. Asaf and Olive, our friends, thank you very much. 100,000. Robbie, my friend and mastermind mate, thank you very much. We received pledge 50,000, and Gloria, the people while growing up in the HR fields, I looked up to Gloria for role modeling. Gloria, thank you very much for the contribution. I can go on and on and on. As I always tell Rosette, I spent 6 months, over 6 months, without being able to say anything or make any sound. And so nowadays, when you give me the mic, oh, I want to talk, but I will not talk any further other than saying thank you very much. Go away with the following questions. Ask yourself, what were you born to do? What do you think your life holds? And do you believe you have a purpose and destiny? And if so, do you believe that you can actually achieve it? And the last thing I leave to with you is go and do these 5 things that John Maxwell taught me. John C. Maxwell. Every day, value people. Every day, think of ways to value people. Every day, look for ways to add value to people. And every day, think of ways to add value to people. You and me are all here for each other. Humanity is everyone's business. God bless you and thank you for coming. I will now put for you some music to listen to as you live at leisure. But yes, thank you so much for being here. God bless you.